What's going on? Welcome to this review of my Aristides H06 model. I've done one before for another one of my guitars, Kiesel. You might have been familiar with it. So my goal with this review is just to talk about the overall experience I've had ordering it, my pros and cons, and everything else I can think of in between. Hope you enjoy it. So I've owned a lot of guitars over the years. The thing that made me want to order an Aristides was just, I mean, look at it. It's from the future. It's crazy. They don't even make them out of wood. I know there's other brands that do that, you know, like Parker. This is made out of Arium, which is a synthesis of tons of different materials to reproduce the best qualities of like the best tone woods. And I just thought that was crazy. And then they also use Richlight on the fretboard too. So this is a no wood guitar. Look at how sleek it is. They just look beautiful. I never used to be a fan of headless guitars, but ever since I got a Strandberg, I've been more and more into headless guitars. And it's not because of the headless aspect. I feel like all the new headless models are the coolest shapes, and they're also, again, ergonomic, which is awesome. I can play it like this and be comfortable, and it's got the cutout here like a Strandberg. Most of the time I'm actually playing classical style, which is way better for your arm back here, and just overall a lot more comfortable. So I just think they are really pushing forward guitars. They are not saying, oh, we have to stand on tradition. They're saying, how can we make this better? So I'll start with the build. This is a custom model. Everything you order from Aristides directly from them is custom because obviously with their material they use, they have to put it in a mold. You can still trick out your paint job, your fretboard color, what kind of inlays. If you've seen their Instagram, their inlays are unreal. Their paint jobs are insane too. Like pickups, extra options. So I'll just go through what I got. So first off, the model is the headless 6-string, so H06. I really loved the shape. I went with the H06R, which stands for raw, which is basically just their raw material. And then they sand it down. There's no paint on this. This is actually the material the guitar is made out of. As you can see on the back, the whole thing is solid here. Really cool, clear pick guard, which I really liked about the raw series. With the painted ones, they paint them too, but I actually thought the clear transparent was really sweet. And you save a little bit on the price point too, because you're not paying for that extra work on a paint job. So as a first Aristides for me, I just wanted to try one, because you can't obviously try them anywhere. And so I went with a raw model. I couldn't decide between a purple and a white model, so I went with lilac because it's kind of like a mix of the two. I like their raw purple, but it was just a little too bluish for me. I don't know. So I decided that this was the color I was gonna go for. And I thought it looked sharp with the white pickups and black hardware. So I went with, obviously, black hardware, black Richlight fretboard with, they have their standard logo on the first fret, and then the H06 icon as their 12th fret. And then I went for offset dot inlays on the top here, and then when it gets past the 12th, then it goes on the bottom. Then for the rest of the make, I went with 2 bare knuckle Misha Mansour Ragnarok pickups. I went with just 1 volume knob, a 5-way toggle between the 2 humbuckers where I can split them, and then I wanted a whammy bar, and then I also wanted to add a kill switch so I can do some really fun riffs or in solos, you know, just tap it a bit, get some cool little effects and that kind of thing. The last kind of cool feature that I sprung for on this guy is, it's hard to see, but on the back here, there is a trem block. So I wanted a guitar that could be the most versatile for me. For our band, we do a bunch of different tuning, or not, I shouldn't say a bunch, other bands do way more tunings than we do, but we do, you know, standard drop D, E flat tuning, drop C sharp, and drop C. So I wanted a guitar that I could have a whammy bar with, but still do all of those tunings, and that's why I got it. That's basically the build. So let me go into the rest of the experience. All right, now I'm gonna go through some of the pros and cons of this guitar. The first pro is not the guitar itself, even though it's incredible, it's the experience. The Aristides team, man, they are unreal. Even before I ordered this, I just messaged them about a custom order. Like, I want to know what your pickups sound like with your Arium, what kind of recommendations. These are the kind of pickups I like. For reference, my favorite set of pickups before these guys was the Crunch Lab and Liquefier from DiMarzio, JP's signature pickups. So I was talking with Brandon over there, and we talked for, I think, like 2 or 3 months, just back and forth, paragraph essays about like critiquing every little pickup and which one would be better. And he gave me some options, and I really wanted to try bare knuckle because I've never tried them before. So I asked like, what would be similar to the DiMarzios, and that guy was just like so happy to just talk to me. It was great, and I didn't even paid them a dime yet. That was amazing. Once I actually put in my order, he was so stoked that I was finally able to put the order in, and we kept chatting literally from the order, you know, every few months, like every month or so, we'd talk a little bit, and then all the way up until I got the guitar, they would upload photos to my own personal Dropbox link that I could see Okay, here's the guitar in the mold, here's it out of the mold, sanded down, here's the pickups in, you could see where your guitar was at throughout the process, which was amazing. The service is so good that even a few weeks ago, I was actually restringing and intonating this guy for recording, and I accidentally stripped one of the screws for one of the saddles here. And I don't know how I did it, but I just emailed them asking, like, hey, what screw is this? I just want to go to my local hardware store and get the exact same one. And they responded like, hey, don't even worry about it. We're just going to send you a bunch of screws, and by the way, what's your shirt size? We're going to send you a t-shirt for free as well. So they sent that from the Netherlands all the way to Canada, and it was here in 3 days, which is actually how long it took the guitar to get here too, and it was all free of charge. Like, the service is probably some of the best customer service I've ever experienced with any company ever. They are there for you. I think I looked it up that they don't even have a warranty. They literally just say, if there's ever something wrong with your guitar, just contact us and we'll figure it out for you. Crazy, right? The second pro is the build. The guitar is flawless. I actually used to work in a music store, and we'd get guitars that are, really nice, but you can see actual flaws in the guitar itself. I can't see any on this thing, man. I inspected every little bit. You might see a few on this video because I've probably put a few dings in it here and there from play. Overall, I've looked at every little inch, every crack, every corner, and it is beautiful. It is a work of art. The attention to detail, everything is absolutely pristine with these guys. Another pro would be playability. The benefit of getting a guitar that's in a mold and having it be one solid piece is the upper fret access is absolutely insane. I've never had a guitar where I can get all the way to 24th fret, no problem. It's not even hitting my hand at this point. It's so fluid. The neck is very nice and thin for all of you shredders out there like me who like to play fast. Very thin, very comfortable, very wide. Overall, it strikes the perfect balance of playability for me, and I think a lot of other people out there. The hardware itself is rock solid. Everything, it holds its tune super well. The pickups obviously are not Aristides, they're bare knuckles, but they sound amazing. One of the reasons I actually went with bare knuckle for these guys is I wanted a guitar, all my other guitars have batteries, active pickups, so I didn't want that this time. I want a guitar that I can just plug in and never have to worry about changing anything. The battery's dying on stage, but I still wanted some versatility. So I guess going into another pro is these bare knuckle Ragnaroks are awesome. They're super versatile. They sound amazing for bridge pickup chugging away. They sound liquid smooth for neck pickup soloing, Petrucci style. And even when I split them, you get that awesome kind of Strat sound, very, very close for a humbucker split. I have no complaints about them. I really love them. Another pro for me is the fan frets. This is actually the thing I was the most nervous about ordering. I have a Strandberg that has some fan frets, but with their 6-string model, it's very lightly fanned. It actually starts straight and then just fans as it goes on. But I've never liked guitars that fan outward and then get properly straight and then out to the right. So I was a little nervous because they only offer the headless model with fan frets. There was no other option, but I wanted the headless because I like the shape. I like the ergonomics, being able to play how I want. And I also like not having a headstock just because you don't have to worry about bashing someone on stage with it and getting torn off. So I was really nervous, but it's such a subtle fan that even if you're someone who doesn't play fan frets, I don't think it's gonna bother you. I have a friend who is like the biggest die-hard guitar nerd I've ever met, and he is like into Gibsons, Fenders, and all that, and he picked this up and he's like, it doesn't even feel fanned, like I don't even notice it. For anybody who is concerned about, they maybe want the headless, but the fanned is maybe a deal breaker, I don't think you have to worry about that. It didn't bother me at all. Another pro would obviously be the material it's made of. The fact that this is a no wood guitar is crazy. It's nice for a few reasons. A, temperature doesn't matter. You could play it in scorching heat or a snowstorm and there's gonna be no warping, none of that. It's a really nice feature, especially for people who are playing shows or especially any of you guys who are touring. It's a no-brainer. The other nice thing about this custom material that they've made, it sounds so good. Like it sounds better than my wood guitars to me. Like there's more resonance, there's more sustain. When I'm chugging away on like a power chord, it just sounds beefier. Leads just cut through the mix like crazy. I was a little nervous about that because obviously I've only ever owned guitars made of wood. So when you get something that's not, you're like, oh, like I don't know if it's gonna sound good. But the acoustic resonance is crazy. I will say this thing is actually pretty loud for an electric guitar when it's unplugged. It has a lot of acoustic resonance, but I think that transfers into, when you plug it into an amp, that resonance carries over into your leads, into like your big chunky rhythms and your core, your riffs. It just, I don't know, it sounds so nice. All right, now for some cons. And the honest truth is I really don't have a lot. I want to be as nitpicky as possible for you guys. Anything that I've ever even had a slight annoyance in my mind about it, I want to mention that. So the first one that I can think of would be the whammy bar. As far as the overall design, it's amazing. You can do dives and whatever the hell you want. It's super strong, retains its tuning great. But my biggest complaint, because I do have some other guitars that have a magnetic insert for the whammy bar, is you have to screw it in and unscrew it every time if you want a tighter whammy bar. If you just want to sock it in there and let it be loose, that's fine, but I like a tight whammy bar that stays wherever I leave it. I guess it's a bit loose right now. That is a bit of an annoyance, but I know that's just kind of the case with a lot of whammy bars. I was just hoping on such a futuristic instrument that maybe they would have went with like a magnetic piece there so you don't even have to worry about tightening and loosening it to put it in or remove it. The other small thing I've been trying to work out, and honestly this might be something that I've done over what they've done, is with the trem block, there's a lot of buzzing going on for me, and I'm trying to figure out what that may be. I've talked back and forth and they've been super great with like trying to help me figure it out. I'm trying to pinpoint the source, whether it's my string tension or gauge of strings or anything. We've tried a lot of things, but there just seems to be a little bit of a buzz at the back of the bridge whenever I tune to standard, which for me is like not a big deal because most of the time I'm in drop D or below. But if I go up to standard, for some reason I just get a little bit of a buzz on one of these saddles, and I'm not sure what it is, but we'll figure it out one day. And it doesn't really hinder the playability at all. It doesn't come through in recording or anything. It's just like a slight minor thing. That could even be something that I'm doing. I don't know. So that wraps up the pros and cons. I wanted to quickly talk about the case that you guys would get if you ordered one of these. I know cases are important for all of us guitar players. Make sure it protects your babies. I got this awesome Quantum Industries case. This thing's insane. It stands up on its own without anything. Even with the guitars in it, it just stands up straight. The padding is perfect. The guitar is always snug and fits nicely in there. It even has like a flight lock on it, so if you're flying, and also the benefit of headless is you can take these on carry-on and you'll almost never get pushback from any airline about it, but you can put a flight lock on it so nobody can access your guitar. Big, nice front pocket that expands pretty wide. You can fit a ton of crap in there. I have literally zero complaints about this case. It is sweet. I'm sure you will all love it. So now I'm going to go into my studio and I'm just going to give you some tone samples of these pickups, how it sounds in the guitar. Keep in mind I'm also using my Neural DSP Quad Cortex for the sound samples, so obviously tones are going to be tones I've dialed in, but hopefully it gives you an idea of how these guys sound. You know, I made this review because I love this guitar and I love this company, and I really want to help spread the awareness of them because they are not that well known outside of the, hardcore guitar community, which obviously, if you're watching this, probably most likely part of that community. But my main primary focus is on my band, writing and recording original music. So if you like this video, we'd be super grateful if you would maybe just go check out some of our stuff. The band name is Stands on Sapphires. We do all things hard rock, so we'd appreciate that. And the second thing would be great if you could just give us a sub. We're really trying to get to that 1K mark, so we'd really appreciate any sub you could give us. Well, that wraps up this review of my Aristides H06. I hope everyone's enjoyed it. I hope some of you are on the fence, maybe are going to take the plunge now. You will not regret it. This guitar is amazing. Thank you so much for watching. Keep on shredding.